CC to lock him down, but if Hoya is overextended, if he's getting traded against so much, sometimes you could just get kills as Jace even solo, or you force Hoya to lose minions, right? And he ends up falling behind in CS very quickly early on in the game, so it can be very frustrating to deal with. Yeah, I really feel like this is going to be a lot of pressure on Afreeca to get out early, but they have a comp that can do it. If we go to late game on even footing, or if Olaf is somehow able to get ahead, this could be Fredit BRION's start to the series.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Match 72.
We're getting deep in here in the LCK.
Only the second game he's played of Jace. He's such a great Jace player.
This is really greedy.
Yeah, trying to get in there, and Lahenza and Bang are just like, what?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That was a pretty weird choice. You can always tell, too, when the players just like, when an Alistar goes in like that and the players don't even walk backwards.
Compete for this Rift Herald at all, right? They're setting up actually for a dive onto Lahenza, who is trying to run away now, but there is no escape.
There's so many minions here still. He's buying a lot of time.
Yeah, he's going to have the great health here, but 4-on-1. Didn't even need Yaharong, actually. He doesn't even get an assist. While mid lane is being shut down.
The gold here that you're going to get for Afreeca is arguably more significant, not to mention, you know, some lost experience, a lot of lost minions across those waves. So Afreeca actually almost even the gold, and like this is still an issue up here on the top side of the map. And Dread is going to start to take Afreeca's first Drake of the game. And with mid-prio here for Fly, it's another matchup issue.
Uh-oh. I think he's in a really rough spot here. Umpty is coming in. Yaharong is being burst down, and teleport as well. But actually, with the help of Senna, they're going to kill that Seraphine. Keen with the TP comes in, and that's going to be enough damage to take him out. Didn't even need the collateral damage, actually. It just sails past his dead body. And this is what happens. You have winning lanes everywhere, and they won as they're supposed to. You just lose everything, right? You're losing the top lane, you lose your mid lane turret at 13.5 minutes, basically. Still alive for now, but this is what happens with the Olaf, too, with all losing lanes. He's just going to dodge the collateral damage, and actually over the wall, here comes Henna, so at least they're able to trade that kill back.
Not over yet, though.
Okay, poking ahead. But
no teleport for Keen. I was actually really worried, but he did use it in that earlier shot.
We've seen, okay, wait, we have a lot of pings coming in and actually a teleport being used by Yaharong, but they're not actually going for this. They're just sending him down to the bottom lane, I suppose, to farm for now, because that Mountain Drake is going to be denied away from Bro.
Here for Fredit BRION is really nice. They're just going to walk away like this because of the control ward, though.
They're just going to try to burst it down.
Yeah.
And I think they might have the damage, but in comes the Graves, and he is going to steal it away. A massive smite comes in from Dread, but the follow-up damage here is quite large. Bang going to be taken out right from the get-go. Lahen's not in a great spot. That's a big scat of the week, though. Keep in mind that Fly and Dread are really fed right now, so Fredit BRION have to turn tail and accept the fact that they lost the Drake and the one for one.
Yeah, I mean,
that could have been a much worse position. As we are going to have the Hex Blast here, this is going to be a nice little play, but the scat of the week is perfect as the Mega Gnar does come in. But Afreeca have already disengaged. Look at the Olaf. He goes in, he goes out. You can't explain that. See you later. Bang is going to get caught here, though. The Devour is not on time, and now the Encore is pretty big on the fly. And thank you, Henna.
I mean, a lot of this is because Keen was considering teleporting in, but he decided he wanted to take a turret for a kill instead, which ends up being more valuable on the map. No retreat from this now.
Teleport comes in. He's not going to get the inhibitor, so Afreeca are banking on trying to go for this fight as Lahenz takes so much damage, but he does the tanking. The Mega Gnar does nothing in the front line, but the Encore is huge, and now the Gnar does something. A massive Gnar into the wall, and a double kill for the Seraphine, as they totally clap the Afreeca side. Bang, not even there to help out with the damage.
And that's a huge problem. Lahenz here just going to delay the inevitable. They don't get the inhibitor, as you say, and they lose Baron. This is best case scenario for Fredit BRION. And this was after a very awesome start to the fight with Fly's Scout of the Week. The range damage is real, but it's not a perfect setup. It's not the full fight that you want. And this time, Fredit BRION proved that they do know how to take these fights defensively with the Seraphine composition.
Seraphine, right? So they get so much poke damage down in the burst, but it's just barely not enough. Especially in this late game fight. If you get engaged like that, you can be down 10,000 gold and still win the fight.
Yeah, and it's like, that doesn't happen if they don't survive the initial fight. And they don't survive the initial fight if Bang is there.
But instead, they hard committed 4v5 into a team composition, into a position where they can get engaged upon, and then it was lights out. And now Fredit BRION are immediately back in this game. You're not feeling as good when you're only hitting shields.
Yeah, it's way harder.
Yeah, and here we go. They're going to get on top of that top Ken. She is pretty tanky, but not tanky enough, and they find Bang. He is just dead. And you can see that Fly and Dread and Keen are so desperately trying to do lasting damage, but they can't.
So many shields, so much healing here, you just can't get through it anymore. If you don't kill them at first, doesn't matter how low their health bars are. If they didn't have a Seraphine here, you'd feel like, oh, we win this 100%. But Fredit BRION are like, we're going to heal up a little bit as we push this, and if anyone overextends, we're going to win this game right now. Forget anything else, forget inhibitors. We have a Nexus on our plates here.
Nice Scatter the Weaks come out, but again, massive shields, massive heals. They're going to take down the 2 Nexus turrets pretty easily. Delight is creating space, and he tanks up a lot of that damage. Fly is desperately trying to keep this game alive, as is Keen and Dread, but they just get burst down themselves. There's enough damage there, and game number 1 will go the way of Fredit BRION in 29 minutes.
Post-game stats, you know, when you look at the Gnar in this game, 7.1 thousand damage, didn't do a whole lot in lane. Very significant.
The Nocturne.
I don't know about this one, Fly.
He's going to have his fun, regardless of if you want to or not. Cannon is also picked.
I have to say, I don't trust his ability to pilot this when they're 0-1 in an extremely important series for playoffs. This is Afreeca taking a very big risk. I respect the courage, I'll give him that.
Fredit BRION, you know, very balanced. Not really anything too big of a note on their side, so we'll see if it works out for them once again. It's no Seraphine Gnar. Fly, who currently has Prio. This is risky.
About. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, this is where Afreeca should be very happy to take these fights.
Afreeca are coming in a little bit slow, though. This is going to get low, and actually, Smite even gets missed there, but Umpty will be taking it at the end of the day. His role in this one. And then when everybody's diving on the back line, it's like, if Bang just has no focus on him, then he can do a lot of damage. So here we go! Finally, Fly is going to find his option onto the Syndra, and over the wall comes the Hecarim. That's what you do. Full speed ahead, but here's the follow-up, actually. Henna trying to get on in there. He's going to flash away after getting the kill. Now they're on top of Bang as well as Fly, who are too low. And they should be taken out eventually. That ground pound is massive from Lahens, trying to save their life, but I think at least Bang should be going down here. Even if it is to Delight, they're going to hand over the kill to Umpty at the end of the day, and that is big because that Ocean Drake is also up.
Yeah, this is the problem, right? You're going to give this up, which is better for Fredit BRION. The Mountain Drake, as you mentioned, is great for them. The Ocean Drake is going to be even more important for them than it is for Afreeca, arguably. We're going to find out what the Soul is going to be, and if it's Infernal, this is actually a huge loss for Afreeca. If it's Cloud, it's significant, but it's not as significant.
Lahens now tries to push forward, regain some vision. They're going to catch the Udyr as the flash will come in goes the Nocturne. And the two of them are just kind of caught out here. Udyr desperately trying to get to safety, but now the Hecarim follow-up is way too much. As Yaharong does get baited into that one a bit, but Bro want to turn this one around. Delight is getting on in there. This is a 4v5, remember. Slicing Maelstrom still available. Fly takes a bunch of damage. The cast will be flashed, but Henna goes back in for it. And now, you know, as you mentioned, all the ultimates are down. How are you going to get on top of Henna is the real question.
You can't. I mean, this fight is almost impossible for Afreeca to really finish off.
They do have that stun onto Henna, but he will survive. Keen is the big guy who has to do the damage now. Bang still safe, though. The Slicing Maelstrom comes out, but it doesn't do much at all. As it's just used for disengage, the stun will go down, but he just gets orbed there by Yaharong.
Fredit BRION is such a good fight, team fighting composition for them. The longer the fight goes on, they have the advantage.
Oh, Hoya. Hoya baiting them all the way through. And that's going to be Bang going down as well. Lahens should survive, but that is in a very extended fight.
Oh my.
Bro's fight to take.
Close the gap, but we're just going to go straight to the Drake.
Yeah, we're getting in here. Team fight over the Drakes, every single one is very important as Delight tanking up a lot here in the Dragon Pit. Fly looking for it, is going to get on top of Henna in that back line, but Dread is diving as well, and he's taking an immense amount of damage, and he will go down to Hoya, and Fly will as well. The dives coming in.
It's not over yet.
Not over. Keen and Fly actually doing a nice amount of damage. Fly still alive here, trying to get on top of Umpty as Yaharong is alone now, 1v2. These fights are so hectic every single time. And this time, Afreeca will get the upper hand.
This time, Fly had, I mean, it wasn't just the ult this time for Fly. He got on top of Henna, who already used his mobility. and then was able to get his passive off. Like, his passive is proccing in the team fight. He's doing AoE damage to squishy targets and his bodyguard.
Yep.
He has to stick with him and shut down the Nocturne every time.
All right, well, this is also an option. You just find a squishy, immobile mid laner by himself up in the top lane. You take him out, although the trade will come in. It's the power of Kai'Sa, I suppose, able to reposition very nicely. Lehens is in no man's land here in the river, just gets caught out. And that's a couple of kills for just Yaharong here in favor of Fredit BRION, and now they're just going to go with the Baron.
It's a free Baron here now, and, I mean, despite the vision on it, it doesn't matter. There's nothing you can do if you're Afreeca at this stage. You could try to trade back a turret, and that's all you can hope for here. And even Delight is going to try to make that even more frustrating to deal with. I mean, these are trades you can't be taking if you're Afreeca in these fights. And
this is a nice little break point for Fredit BRION. They have Zhonya's available for Yaharong and the stopwatch for Henna. Henna trying to get out of this one. That's going to be the stopwatch, but the engage is just insane from the side of Afreeca. They find 3 in the front, but at the same time, Henna will survive on the back of the exhaust, and nobody dies just yet. Yaharong is going to flash the wall, and all 5 members of Fredit BRION somehow, some way will survive that insane engage.
But how do you fight this now as Afreeca? You know, you didn't get those kills, and now you don't have any way to take that crazy fight. Your wombo is done. Like, you're hard pressed to get more value out of a Hecarim ultimate than Dread just did there. But it's on cooldown now. They have so much sustain, this comp doesn't. They have so much damage. Keen trying to look for the flank.
They have TPs coming through now. Lehen's looking for the flank, but look at the front line. Fly just dies. And as you mentioned, there's no wombo. The Hecarim goes in and he's like, okay, well, I dashed in. What do I do now? You do nothing. You run. You die. That is what happens. And that is going to be the triple kill now for the Kai'Sa. Afreeca should have just let this one go because Fredit BRION in a much stronger spot after they blew all their ultimates.
Afreeca really, I mean, they're running out of options here. You can feel the desperation.
Yeah. From ahead, I mean, this would have looked really fantastic. But this is what happens when you're blind. You have to send in your Alistair. Now, Delight is in the front line taking a lot of damage. The Varus ultimate is going to sail wide, and the Unleashed power is enough from Yaharong to take down the cow. As Umpty, he's just following the Kennen. You know, the Kennen can't really 1v1 the Udyr right now, and if you just zone him away, then you can't Slicing Maelstrom. It's great.
And yeah, if he has to use a Slicing Maelstrom to escape that or to try to trade there, then he doesn't have it for the fight. Yeah, that's essentially what you're saying. Yeah, and like it's a waste, and then you can't team fight anymore. Yeah. Speaking of can't team fight, without Alistair here, you just simply can't. You don't have any frontline, you don't have any staying power. They'll just turn and kill.
Yeah, this is a rough game for a Cinder to play, right? This is not just straight up and easy. As Umpty is going to find Keen here, Dread has to try to help him out. As now the Nocturne ultimate going to be used just to deny vision. That's not it.
That's tragic, you know. I mean, how can you win this fight ever now? Like, how has it ever happened?
Umpty's still going, right? There's no reason to stop here. They're just going to engage right into the back line. The cleanse is huge, but Bang now, really nice exhaust onto Henna, as he is going to be piled up on here a little bit in the brush, but it's not enough. They don't have any follow-up. The ultimates are
Yaharong wins the exchange against Fly on the other side, too.
Yeah. No ultimate for the Nocturne, so he's just lost. And this comp for the side of Afreeca, it was naturally coin flippy. Either you get ahead early on or you just lose the game. And now we're in that latter half where you just lose the game. Fredit BRION, really great stuff. Great consistent play in the series, and they're going to take it.
Yeah. You know, I thought we were going to see an extended series between these two. I mean, I really thought there were a lot of issues with the composition that Afreeca had in the first game later on. But this game, I mean, they took a massive risk in draft. I don't think anyone will watch that draft again and tell you, well, but the chasing actually put the Nocturne into such a bad place all of the time. Like, you chased, but now you're in Fredit BRION's side of the map. Look at the damage for Yaharong in this game. One of the toughest Cinder games you're ever going to play, constantly getting ulted, constantly under pressure, getting poked away. Hecarim is so aggressive,